Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Bourbon Hang on a Thursday night. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I've done a lot of audio adjustments, so if you can hear me okay, if the audio sounds good, please let me know in the chat. We're going to say hey to everybody in the chat. We're going to drink some wild turkey tonight. In fact, we need to cheer somebody. So first thing let's do before we get started. What's up, Corey? Hey, man, if the sound's okay, let me know, buddy. Little muffled. All right, let me see. Let me see what's going on here on the sound before we get started. Let's see. Little muffled. Let me try this. Is that any better or worse? Still muffled. Well, shoot. All right, man, this is what happens when I mess with audio. Oh, it's better? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Maybe I know what's going on here. All right, how about now? Even better? Sounds good on Facebook. All right. What's up, Jeff Felice? How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. Better. All right. I think I had the volume a little low. I'm going to try to turn it up just a tad bit more. Make sure that's okay. So if it starts like peaking and sounding weird, let me know. All right. First thing we need to do. Everybody pour a glass. I don't know what you guys are drinking. My warm-up pour tonight is going to be a little Wild Turkey 101. I haven't had it in a bit. But this tasting tonight is all due to one of our members, Corey, who harvested a turkey this weekend. So, Corey, thank you, buddy. Cheers, man. We're going to be tasting Wild Turkey 12-year tonight, which is so fantastic. And I only have a bottle of it because of him. So, cheers to you, man. Cheers. Sounds good on YouTube. All right, man. I haven't actually had the old Wild Turkey 101 in a bit. So, cheers, everybody. That's my first drink of the night. And it's a good bottle for $20. I'm telling you guys. So what I want to do tonight, I'm going to tell you, it's going to probably be a few more people tuning in than usual because I'm going to talk about our Four Roses pick we just went on. But I'm also going to tell you guys our Dark Arts barrels came in. And we did the first Sherry Oloroso finished bourbon from Dark Arts, which is so good. And then we also picked a white port barrel. So I found out the yield on both of those today. The sherry was about, I think, 198 bottles, and the white port was a short barrel, and I think it was about 70 or 80. I can't remember, but it's not much. But we're going to release those to Barrels for Hope members first, and then whatever doesn't sell out, we're going to put on our channels. So if you're a Whiskey Tornado Patreon member, those will go on Patreon. You can join. I think as little as $2 a month for Whiskey Tornado on Patreon. Or you can just join Barrels for Hope, where all the proceeds go back to charity. And you can join for as little as $5 a month on that. If you go to Patreon, you can either search Whiskey Tornado or Barrels for Hope. Barrels for Hope is our 501c3 charity. For those that don't know, that we started about a year ago after my wife was diagnosed with cancer. And our first year, we're going to be donating $40,000 to charity. So huge thanks to all of you guys watching that are part of that helped that become a reality. We are super excited about our first year and the picks we did. But these Dark Arts picks that are coming out, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for you guys to taste them. Let's see. All right, let me get to some of these chats. Oh man, my computer's doing all kinds of funky stuff. Let me say hey to everybody. All right, we got a good crowd tonight. All right, Corey's here, actually. Wild Turkey 12 in the glass. Let's do this. Cheers, Lance, and everyone. Hell yeah, man. Okay. I think I'm going through all these where it says muffled, but it sounds like we're all better now. All right, good on YouTube. Shane says good on YouTube. Corey Dambro, cheers. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, man, I was gonna share your picture with the turkey that you sent me, but I didn't know if you were cool with that or not. So, but yeah, man, it's a great picture. All right. Bourbon's your friend. Cheers. Cheers, man. Taylor Folds in the house. Can't wait to see those checks be handed out at the year-end event. Hell yeah, man. We also, you guys know, we've got Jason C. with Mash and Drum. That's going to be the MC for the Barrels for Hope year-end event in July. And we also have Fred Minnick coming as a special guest. And I just found out last night we have another awesome guest coming to Barrels for Hope year-end event. But I'm not going to spoil that. I'm going to save that for our Barrels for Hope live stream. I don't want to, I want everybody else to be on there for that. Oh, man. Wild Turkey 101. Not bad pour for $20. All right, let's see. Shane says, Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit in my glass. Nice, man. I'm going to do a blind tonight of the Wild Turkey 101. So we're going to do, we're not going to do this Wild Turkey 101. We're going to do Wild Turkey 12 year, like I said, which Corey brought me. And it is so phenomenal. It is so good. I had it with Ed last weekend, and I'll share about that trip because it was a blast. We're doing Wild Turkey Masters Keep 1 and a Kentucky Spirit. We're going to blind those, see which one stands out. I have a feeling I know which one's going to win, but since I just got the Wild Turkey 12 year, I really wanted to share that pour with you guys. And for anybody that has that, I know it's an international release, but man, if you can get your hands on that bottle, it is so good. All right, Robert Shea, working at the firehouse tonight. No drinks for me, unfortunately. Yeah, man. I hear you. Monday, I was watching a live stream Monday. I can't remember what I was watching, and I had just had a colonoscopy, so I'm glad to have that behind me. All right. David Bass in the house. What's up, man? Brian said no rare breed in the blind. No, because it's 106 or 116 proof. So I just wanted to stick with 101 proof. I feel like that would stick out too much. I think all these are going to honestly, I'll be able to tell which is which, but I really want to try to just not focus on which is which and which one I enjoy the most. Based on the nose, palate, and finish. So I've never done this blind, so never had this tasting before, so I'm excited to do it. All right, so now that we're going, let's get into Four Roses. So I don't know if you guys have ever had the privilege of going on a Four Roses pick. Four Roses single barrels used to be okay to me when I got into bourbon, and the longer I've been in my bourbon journey and the more my palate has developed, the more I've just fell in love with Four Roses single barrel proof picks. They're my favorite. They're my absolute favorite. I love them. I try to typically stay away from the minty and herbal notes, but man, are they good. And we did a pick for Barrels for Hope, which I don't know what the yield is yet. Usually it's around 110 bottles per barrel. So it's not even going to get through all our members. We're just going to have to do a randomizer for that. So if you're in Barrels for Hope, you'll be able to get in the randomizer, and we'll pick, however many people, 110 randomly, to get a bottle of that, and all proceeds are going back to charity. So it's 100% a charity barrel, which is really awesome. But I wanted to share some pictures from our trip. So just kind of give you guys an idea, if you've never been on a Four Roses pick, what it's like, because they know how to do it. So I left Thursday night, and the first thing is my wife sends me a text because I forgot to message her. I got to Ed's. I stayed over at Ed's. Ed Sturgard's our first Patreon member. Love that guy. And we've become really good friends. So anytime I go into Louisville, I try to stop by his house and see him and his fiance. So got there and forgot to text my wife, and she asked me if I'd arrived all night. So we sent her this picture that, yep, we got there just fine. So while we were there at Ed's, we tried. I've had the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, which is fantastic, but brought the Wild Turkey 12 year to share with Ed. Ed had the Old Overholt 10, which I had heard really good things, and man, that bottle is phenomenal, guys. If you see that bottle, it is definitely worth the money. I would pick it up. I think they're allocated though. And then Ed also brought out the Old Forester. Oh, why am I forgetting what the name of it is? Something Ranch. Anyway, I wasn't sure how I'd like it. Man, that might be one of my favorite Old Forester products. It was absolutely fantastic. I don't know if you guys have had that or not, but my goodness, what a good bottle. So I'm on the hunt for one of those. I never see those here in Illinois though. Let's see. We're talking about the colonoscopy. Yeah, man, the colonoscopy was rough. I sat, let's see, Sunday night, my wife starts bringing me, the little cups to drink or whatever. And I get through 8 of those bitches and I'm like, what is going on? I feel like I'm drowning. And my stomach felt so full. It felt like water was up to my neck. I was just like, man, I'm dying here. And of course, I emptied everything and then found out my wife accidentally gave me basically a whole bottle of Miralax. She did the math wrong instead of like half of it. So it's a rough night. Gary says, last pour of Fruitgate in the glass. Oh, nice, man. So while I was at Ed's, Ed poured Fruitgate and some of the FAEs. Man, what Fruitgate is a great pour. But if you go to, most of you guys know Josh and Aaron with Stuff and Whiskey. If you go to their channel, they did double blind and they had Fruitgate and the Maker's Cellar Age and a double blind, and both of them picked Fruitgate over Maker's Cellar Aged. So at half the cost, man, I'm so happy with that blend we did. It turned out really, really nice. Mom's on the chat. Is this stream dedicated to Kendall's my daughter? She just turned 19 today, so no, she's hitting the bars, Mom. King Ranch, thanks, Earl. King Ranch, yeah. All right, Nick Reed. Cheers, Lance and all. Sipping on Russell's Reserve. Dark Arts will be my first bottle as a Barrels for Hope member. Oh, dude, you're gonna love it. Oh, it's so good, man. It is so good. So let me show you guys some more pics from this Four Roses. So if you've never been, hopefully you guys get to go. That's one of the things when myself and Dan and Josh and Joe created Barrels for Hope, one of the things we wanted to do was create or make available a bucket list item for people who are really into bourbon. And one of the biggest bucket item lists there is for a bourbon nerd is going on a pick and selecting your own barrel of whiskey. So we take 2 to 4 members on every pick we do. So we were able to take some members on this, on the Four Roses pick. So when you get there, you go in this tiny little shack behind the gate and they just know how to welcome you. They have the welcome banner up. It's got everybody's name on it. They have everything laid out like super nice. Just a really awesome tasting experience. It's the little things too with Four Roses. Like, they have these barrel covers, the head covers, they're Four Roses. That's a small touch, but man, it looks nice. They got the, let me get that comment off. They have the private barrel select VIP guest pin. You got all your glasses there. And we were able to taste all 10 recipes from Four Roses. So sometimes you go and they don't have all of the barrels or all the recipes available. Sometimes you might only get 8, sometimes 6. We actually had 10 for our pick. So here's our sheet. So our first glass was a OBSF. For those who don't know, the B is the higher rye mash bill. The E is the higher corn mash bill, or lower rye mash bill. I'm sorry. So one was an OBSF. It was really nice. It was 11 years old, and it was on tier 1. It was just a little light. The number 2, the OBSK, was a 9-year 2-month, and it was okay as well, but didn't blow our socks off. 3 was OESK, and it was a 10-year 10-month. Now, one of my favorite recipes going up to that date is OESK. In fact, the last Four Roses pick I was on with A1, we picked an OESK, which I absolutely love. And I would have never guessed this was an OESK, but the reason is it was tier 1. And while we all loved it, it was just super flat. There was no finish. So we all agreed it was a really good bourbon, but for bourbon nerds, it just didn't have the finish that we wanted. And then come to find out later, we're tasting these all blind. Come to find out later, it was tier 1, which makes a lot of sense. So the next one, 4 OBSQ, was a 10-year, 10-month. That was the worst one. That one was horrible to me. Like, if we would have picked that barrel, I wouldn't have bought a bottle. It was the only one out of the flight I just really did not care for. And thankfully no one selected that in their top 3. So we narrowed these down to 3. Then we went to, let's see, 5 was an OESO, 9-year, 2-month, but tier 6. And 5 was a front runner. 5, 6, and 8 were like that. Those were our top 3. So we had an OESO that was 10-year, 3-month, but tier 6. An OBSV, which was tier 4, 10-year, 9 months, and then 8 was the OESF, which was 11 years and tier 5. And 8 was the one we went with. 8 was just absolutely fantastic. Blew our socks off. I mean, the texture, the finish, the nose, everything about it was just so fantastic. And I was psyched that's what we went with for our first 4 Roses Barrels for Hope pick. So those of you in Barrels for Hope that get that, man, you guys, you're gonna be blown away, man. It's one of my favorite picks we've done, probably. So, all right, let's see. Get back in here on the chat. What's up, Dylan? Yep, it sure was, man. King Ranch only released in Texas. Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. Man, it's good. It's good stuff. I like it a lot. Don't blame it on Renee. I'm always going to blame Renee when I can. Mark's in the house. What's up, Mark? Cheers, buddy. Mark, that banner was great. They roll out the red carpet, evidently. Yeah, 4 Roses really knows how to do it, man. They did a great job. Looks awesome. Robert Shea, bucket list item for sure. Yeah, man. All right. So, the dark arts pick, like I was saying, we got 2 dark arts picks. We actually picked the first Sherry Oloroso finished bourbon from Dark Arts. And then we loved the white port so much that we also bought the white port barrel. The white port barrel is a short barrel. It's like, I think the yield on it was like 80 some. So the Oloroso Sherry is going to go to the Barrels for Hope members, our $65 tier. They're all getting a bottle of that. But then we'll have another 38 bottles or so left over. We'll sell those to Barrels for Hope members first. Anything that doesn't get sold in there will go to, we'll release in Whiskey Tornado Patreon, Stuff and Whiskey Patreon, Dusty Dan's Patreon, and Mommy Valley Whiskey Society Patreon. So you be a member any of those. I doubt the Sherry Oloroso. I can't imagine the Sherry Oloroso will make it out of Barrels for Hope, but the white port should. The white port, we've got another 70 bottles. So whatever Barrels for Hope doesn't sell, we will release it in Whiskey Tornado and the other channels. So it'll sell out for sure. But, if you're in my Patreon on Whiskey Tornado, or you're even in the $5 tier on Barrels for Hope, you guys should have a shot at one of those bottles, because we've got over 100 bottles that aren't going to members. So, and then all proceeds are going directly to charity. So all profits. And that's thanks to A1, our partnership with A1 Liquors in Effingham, Illinois, where they're generous enough to donate, let us get those barrels at cost, and then all profits just go back to charity. So, so huge shout out as always to Narav and A1 Liquors. They're amazing. All right, let's get into this tasting. And then what else did I want to show you guys? Oh, I know what else I want to show you. I want to show you some other pictures. So then that was, that's our barrel. We signed our barrel. And we'll get that, auction that off. And then after that, we went to Willet. And if you've ever been to Willet, you know what that is right there. That is the best egg salad sandwich you'll ever have in your life. And while we were there, I tasted it. The first time I went to Willet and had the egg salad sandwich, I was like, it's okay, but I don't know if it's like as good as everyone says. Everyone goes nuts over that thing. This time we went back and had that, and I was like, what in the world? They did something different to it. So the waitress came over and we were like, hey, did you change the recipe? Because this is outstanding. And now, instead of, they used to grade hard-boiled eggs where you saw the grading on top. Well, now they've changed that to 36-month aged Gouda cheese. And oh my gosh, what a difference, man. Now it's an A+ sandwich. So, all right. So what we're going to do, as always, guys, is if you've got some wild turkey, go ahead and pour it while we do this tasting. And then we're also tonight going to taste Barrelcraft Spirits. Barrelcraft Spirits sent me the Mizunara Oak. So we're going to try their Mizunara Oak blend, which I actually like Mizunara Oak. So I think this will be really interesting. I don't know what's going on with Barrelcraft Spirits. I don't know if there's anybody on here that knows. I know all the rumors. They had their property listed for sale, and then I know TJ with Power Bourbon was down there, and they were getting rid of a lot of old stuff they had found, like batches 4, 5, and 6 they had found that they were selling in their gift shop. But then I hear they're not closing, so I don't know what's going on. I know they are claiming, I don't think they've said anything about closing. It's just kind of weird. They open this place and then it goes up for lease or whatever. And then, they're still reaching out to me saying, hey, can we send you our products? So, I don't know if some of you guys are more tuned into that stuff than me. If you know what's going on with Barrelcraft Spirits, type it in, because it's a brand I don't want to lose, man. Not because they send me stuff, but I've always been a fan. They're a little high priced, but my gosh, is their stuff good, and they are blending masters. And I think they push the envelope on their experimental stuff, and they push a lot of brands to be better. So I definitely don't want to see them go down in this. I don't know if you call this, the bourbon bubble busting or whatever, but it's a brand I don't want to lose personally. All right, so let me get out some of these boxes here. So the first one we've got is Wild Turkey Master's Keep 1. Now, I wasn't super crazy about this. I've shared this a lot with people, so I don't have too much of it left. But man, there is no bottle as beautiful as these Wild Turkey Master Keep bottles. They are gorgeous. So that's one we're going to drink. Let's see. We'll put the little A around the Master's Keep. That'll be A. All right, next. Huge shout out to Corey for getting me this. This is the international release. This is a Wild Turkey 12-year. Again, another beautiful bottle. And we will label that B. And then last but certainly not least, Kentucky Spirit. Now, a lot of people aren't crazy about Kentucky Spirit. I get it. It's, supposed to be, better Wild Turkey 101 for triple the price. But, man, I've had some of these picks that are fantastic. This particular barrel is a Total Wine pick from 2022. It's from Warehouse K. So a lot of these were being released from Warehouse K. All right. And I'm going to keep getting to your comments, guys, so keep posting them up. Let's see. Earl asked, do you have a packing party date for Dark Arts? So I was talking to Narav about that today. Since I know the distributor sent me a message today saying the barrel was in. I'm not sure how long the barrels are going to take to get to Narav, but I think really quick. So my best estimate right now is May 4th. That's my plan anyways, May 4th. All right. Let me make sure. What we're using today, guys, is Great Whiskey Challenge whiskey glasses. They're pretty cool. They got it. You don't have to use stickers. They're like, it's already on the bottom, and when you're drinking, you can't see through. So that's what I'm using tonight. They've been a supporter of the channel for a while. So let's get a little A poured in here. Thank you guys for being on tonight. That's about done. That is about done. All right, find our B glass next. There any releases you guys are really looking forward to this year? Let's see. David says, props to A1. What makes Barrels for Hope happen? Yep, that's right. We definitely could not do it without them. It would not be a thing. So, all right, last one here. We're putting the Kentucky Spirit in Glass C. All right. Mix these up. So I've still got to figure out a way, guys, where I can do this and you guys, you guys, oh man, I almost spilt it. You guys know what I'm drinking and I don't, but I haven't figured that out yet. Daniel, they are awesome looking bottles. Yeah, they are, man. David Bass, hit the like button. Yeah, please do, man. It really helps the channel. I have been slacking on reviews. I was watching Jason with Mash and Drum last night, and he was like, I don't know why Lance doesn't have 1 million subscribers. And I'm like, well, it's my fault. I haven't been super on it, getting Barrels for Hope going and all that stuff. So I get it, but I actually love the amount of subscribers I have right now because I know pretty much everybody. I feel like I know everybody. I have a good handle on what's going on. All right. Let's see. Corey, can you give the deets on the MK1 again? Yeah, so the Master's Keep 1 is a toasted oak finish. Again, 101 proof. Let me see what it says on the box here. Marketing speak. It's a blend of mature bourbons aged between 9 and 14 years, handpicked by Eddie, and harmonized through a second maturation and specially toasted and charred oak barrels. And that's about it. It says Rickhouse 6, if you care to know that, but proof's 101 on it. So these are all 101 proof. Let's see. I'll post that comment up for you, Shane, in case anyone is. Shane said, anyone going up to Lake Geneva this weekend for Wee Whiskey Fest? The wife and I will be there Friday through Sunday. Chris Michael, what's up, dude? Cheers, buddy. Cheers. Whiskey Nose in the house. What's up, man? Shane Lance, looks like you need a silent co-host to help pour your tasting. I'm right down the road. Oh, hey, man. Let's set that up, dude. Let's set that up. Every Thursday, man. All right. Let's smell these first on this tasting. All right, here we go. Oh, man. You know, all these are going to be beautiful. I really do think that golly, if I don't spill these guys, it'll be a miracle. I really do think the 12 year is going to stand out, but I need a bigger desk. All right. So I don't know what I'm tasting. I'm just going to call these glass 1, glass 2, and glass 3. When I take a sip, I'm going to not look at the camera. I don't think I can see it anyway, but you guys might be able to see the letter on the bottom of the glass. Again, just so you guys can see, we've got A is the Wild Turkey 1, B is the Wild Turkey 12 year, and C is the Kentucky Spirit, for anyone that cares. So, all right, here we go. Glass 1. Glass 1, honestly, didn't taste that complex. A lot of honey. Actually, a good amount of oak. Had some like drying tannins on the finish. Tasted very similar to the Wild Turkey 101 that I started the night with. That was a $20 bottle. So these are, you know, the Kentucky 101 or Kentucky Spirit is about a $60, $70 bottle. I think this is about $150, but again, this is an international release, and I traded a Weller CYB for 2 of these. And then the Master's Keep is what, 175 or so. So I'm going to take a second sip of glass 1 here. Second sip was a little bit better. A little bit of like orange marmalade and spice on that. But again, tastes its proof at that 101. Doesn't taste that complex. It's a good bourbon, but I don't think I would put that in the class of like, you know, a bourbon that's $70 plus. Let's see. Engineering Teacher, Wild Turkey 12 is one of my all-time favorites. Me too, man. I mean, Corey brought that over. I was like, man, I got to get a bottle of this. And he helped me get 2. So, man, it's so good. I absolutely loved it. All right, on to glass 2. Glass 2 is really nice. Glass 2, much more cherry forward. Long finish on glass 2. So 1, a little more honey forward. 2, you're kind of dipping into those like darker oak notes, but not overly oaked, not into medicinal cherry. It's just a nice dark cherry with the perfect amount of oak spice for me. Glass 2 was really nice, but I'm going to take a second sip. Oh, man. Glass 2 is beautiful. The spice on it, man, just dances on your tongue. It's still finishing. For 101 proof, that is a finish that goes forever. Glass 2 is amazing. Amazing pour. I'm not taking another drink yet because that finish is still going. Like I said, guys, after we do this tasting, we're going to taste the latest release from Barrel Craft Spirits, the Mizunara Oak. All right. Glass 3. Wow. Glass 3, soft, cherry. Nice caramel notes. A little softer than glass 2, but still really good. I'm going to be honest, guys. I thought this was going to be really easy. I don't know that it is. Let's see. Mark Emanecker getting all kinds of love in chat. Mr. Jiggs, what's up, buddy? Cheers. Cheers. So good to see everybody tonight. For those of you just hopping on, right now we are doing a Wild Turkey 101 flight blind. I don't know what's in what glass, but so far it does not disappoint. The only pour that disappoints right now is glass 1. So I'm going to start with 3, go reverse order, see how things change. Let's go glass 3. Yeah, nothing wrong with glass 3. It's just softer on the palate. It's really well rounded. It's really balanced. For me, the only thing I would want on there is a little bit longer finish, but it's not, again, there is nothing bad about that glass 3 pour. Glass 2. The cherry note on glass 2 just kind of shines, man. Now, that sip, I'm not getting near as much spice and finish as I did the first time through. That tasted like 101 proof. A little bit, it tamed down the second time around. But I'm going to take a second sip here. That's really good. Glass 2 and glass 3 are really nice. I'm interested to see how glass 1 tastes now. All right, glass 1. Yeah, glass 1 is just too soft, not complex. I'm not sure what that is, but if I had that blind, you know, I might be okay paying $40-50 for it. As I'm saying that, I'm thinking, what if glass 1 is the Wild Turkey 12, which I just went nuts on? That's so funny. That would be funny. But I don't care how these blinds taste out or come out. I want to know what I like just off the blind. Now, I will say, I think sometimes we put a little too much into double blinds, especially. And I've said this on many live streams, but I don't mind double blinds, but it can't be the end-all, be-all. Because if I'm tasting something that has a finish, but it's really lightly finished, and I'm tasting it in a double blind, I might not appreciate what I'm tasting, and some of those tasting notes might pass me by. I might not even know they're there. And if I know I'm tasting something that it's finished in Oloroso sherry, and I'm looking for those notes, and all of a sudden I start finding some dark, rich fruit notes that I may have not tasted had I not been looking for them, and then it means more. So I think it's important to taste things blind, but I don't think it's the end all be all to everything. Now here, I know I'm tasting all Wild Turkey stuff, so I got to decide. So glass 1 is last place. Wonder if I should just reveal that now. Corey says, I agree with that versus double blind. Yeah, I mean, I love doing double blinds, but sometimes I think we put too much into those. Can be part of the equation, right? I think. Wow. 3 has a leather note now. that I was not picking up the first time through. Man. And a cherry note. So I'll tell you, from my memory, the only one of these that really had that cherry note for me was the Wild Turkey 12. But tasting these blind, 2 of them have that cherry note. So I'm really interested to see what it is. So I'm going to put one in last place. Let's just reveal that, see what we got here. It is Glass C is last place. So I don't, it's going to, oh, there we go. There we go. Glass C. So C was the Kentucky Spirit. So Kentucky Spirit in last place tonight. I mean, that's what I would have. I don't know if I would have guessed that. You know, honestly, I didn't know if I liked the Master's Keep 1 that much. But tonight, man, it is holding its own against the Wild Turkey 12. All right, so now we just got to decide which one I like. I thought I had this narrowed down, and then I just tasted a leather note on 3. That really caught me off guard. So I'm going to go 3, then 2. That's beautiful. Just soft, really well-rounded. It's got a good caramel note, a touch of cherry. Glass 3 isn't as dominating on the cherry note as Glass 2, but it's there. And one of these is the Master's Keep, and I never picked up on that cherry note till tonight. And I'm kind of shocked I'm picking up on it because the cherry note I thought in Wild Turkey 12 was so strong that it was just going to drown it out. Okay, Glass 2. Man, yeah, Glass 2 is the winner tonight for the Wild Turkey Blind, and the reason is it's still finishing, man. It's darker. It's got those kind of dark cherry, sweet oak notes that you get in one of the old Knob Creeks single barrels. Or one of the Claremont, the Jim Beam, Hardin's Creek Claremont has those dark, deep cherry notes. That's what Glass 2 has, plus a longer finish. But Glass 3, whatever that is really good. It's just really well-rounded. It's softer. So I think some people would probably like Glass 3 better than Glass 2 because it's softer. It is really well-rounded. It's got some of those kind of leather notes on the back end. It's really sweet, but it doesn't taste as old as number 2. So number 2 is my winner. If I had to guess, that's the Wild Turkey 12. And that was closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought the Wild Turkey 12 was going to blow those out of the water. It blew the Kentucky Spirit out of the water, but let's see what we got here tonight. In second place, Glass 3, and that is A, which is the Wild Turkey Master's Keep. So I was right. Man, that really held its own. And then first place is Glass B, which is that Wild Turkey 12 year. Man, guys, this bottle is so legit. This bottle is so good. If you can get your hands on one of these, do it. I took this to Ed, shared it with Ed. We had a great time, man. He gave me some really good blinds, actually. Actually, I think he just popped in here. Let's see. He gave me, what was it? Oh, we did. He gave me in a double blind Stag 23A against our Nashville Barrel Company pick for Barrels for Hope. And I would have thought that the Stag won, and in a double blind, he gave it to me. When I tasted that Nashville Barrel Company pick we did, the flavor exploded. It was so amazing. And it wasn't even close. It destroyed Stag 23A. So man, so many people are chasing all these allocated products, and I'm telling you guys, I know this is going to sound biased, but the picks we're doing are better than so much allocated stuff you can find on the market. You know, we've got a good connection with the channels that we paired up with Narav. We are getting some really, really good barrels, man. Oh, Ed's in here. What's up, Ed? My jam, Age Beam. Ed, I was sharing the picture, man. I don't know if you were on here earlier of us at your house. Ed's always a good host, man. I had such a great time. Such a great time. Power Bourbon, Ed the Beam Man. Yep, that's sure. Ed says that 102 12 years freaking special. Man, it is so good. So good. It's one of my favorite bottles. So, all right. Now that we got that out of the way, it went about like I thought, but you know, honestly, it was closer than I thought, which is why I love doing those. So much fun, man. All right. Now I'm really interested to taste this Mizunara Oak. So let me pour that, and then we'll chat. We'll get in the chat here while it opens up, because this is a fresh crack on the Mizunara Oak. So read the stats to you guys. So again, keep in mind this was sent to me by Barrel, but Barrel has never had a problem if I've reviewed something of theirs bad. They've still sent me, you know, everything. So I can give you guys my honest opinion on this. Mizunara Oak's funky anyway. So 6 years old. Proof is 116.42 proof. Let's see. I don't have my glasses on, but the blend is, it's got 6, 7, and 9 year Indiana, 8 year, I think that says 8 year Kentucky, and 8 and 14 year Tennessee. So there is some Dickel in here. 78% corn, 20% rye, 4% malted barley. If you guys know anything about Mizunara Oak, the trees from Mizunara Oak are really crooked and bend, and the barrels leak a lot. So I think it's a delicate wood that's hard to age things in. So that's why it's more expensive. So the MSRP on this bottle, I believe TJ with Power Bourbon told me, is like $150. So I get it. It's not going to be in a lot of people's price range. So let's see how good it is. Very unique, I'll tell you that. So there's the bottle. Let's see. All right. We'll let that open up, and I'll get back into these chats here. I got to smell it first. All right. That smells really good, man. Okay. Let me get back up here. Power Bourbon, he made a good trade. Yeah, so I had 2 CYPBs. One I got at a lottery at A1. So I got that CYPB for, I think, $59 at Narav's at A1, and then traded it for 2 Wild Turkey 12 years. So I thought it was a good trade, because I'm not going to drink the CYPB, but I'll drink that Wild Turkey, man. Let's see. Shane, is 12 year a special number? Knob Creek 12 is delicious as well. Man, I think if bourbon is done right and it doesn't get too tannic and drying, 12 years is fantastic, man. Anything 8 to 12 is really good. And then, you know, it takes a special distillery that knows what they're doing to age it longer than that and it not get too tannic and drying and over oaked. So, I've had some 17-year stuff that I absolutely love. Like all the Hardin's Creeks are fire, man. They're so good. And they're 17 and a half. Yeah, Ed set up some nice blinds, TJ. He about had us sick again. He was bringing me so much. Every time I turned around, he's like, "Here, taste this against this against this." I had no idea what I was tasting, but it was a good time, man. Yeah. I love you too, man. We do have the best get-togethers, and we didn't puke. Yeah. That's a couple times now in a row we haven't. We've done really good. All right, Power Bourbon said, this is the review I'm here for. So Power Bourbon got, I think TJ got his bottle as well. So, man, the nose on this. Whew, exploding out of the glass, man. Really effervescent. So Mizunara Oak, if you've had many Japanese whiskeys, it has a unique flavor that I can't really put my finger on to describe, other than to tell you it tastes like Mizunara Oak. So I know it when I taste it blind, but I can't. There's nothing that tastes like it, at least not that I can think of. So if TJ is in the chat and can help, maybe he's got some tasting notes of Mizunara. But if you smell this blind, it doesn't smell like anything unusual. It just smells a little floral. It's got all those like quintessential bourbon notes of caramel, vanilla. It just smells like very, very flavorful, but not one particular note is standing out. There might be like a grape note kind of down in there. I want to get my nose further in there, but when I do, it's like too much. Man, it's really nice. But effervescent is a way I would describe it. It's just the aromas are like just exploding out of the glass, but I can't tell you any specific notes. Yeah, Power Bourbon, the barrels leak a ton. Yeah, because the oak's so twisty and not straight. Man, he said 6 to 10 minutes to open up for the nose. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm having trouble with right now, just getting into the nose too much. Boy, it's floral. Kind of reminding me of Four Roses on the nose when you get some of those like floral recipes from Four Roses. There is, like TJ said, raisin, leather, of course, power suggestion, but yeah, definitely picking up the leather note. There's definitely some cinnamon on there. Smells really good, though. All right. Cheers, everybody. I'm definitely going to need to digest that. Wasn't bad. Just, this is why, like, this is one of those things, like, if you tasted blind, it might be such a left turn that it throws you off and you might not like it in a blind. But if you know what you're tasting, and you give it some time, it might get interesting. One thing it did, it really zapped my palate on the back end. It was really drying. There's a lot of wood tannins there. It like sucked all the moisture out of my mouth. That second sip was really nice. I like that. I like that. Since Ed Sturger is here, hey Ed.
Fuck off, 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 Ed.
Yeah, you gotta play it. every episode that Ed tunes in on. We gotta play that. So TJ, I don't think I told you we got another special guest coming to Barrels for Hope year-end event. Year-end event shaping up, man. It's gonna be a really good time. All right, let me taste this. I haven't given you guys any notes because it's really hard for me to pick notes out on this. Man, I don't know, guys. I definitely would not pay $150 for this. I can tell you that. It's not, it's good. I think it's really enjoyable, actually. $150 though is a lot of money, man. And I get it. They're blending it with Mizunara oak. There's just I don't know. It's really hard to explain. There's like a big burst of flavor and I can't pick out any particular note. Maybe it just needs more time to open up. That's certainly possible since we did this on a fresh crack. I don't like the way it's drying the back of my palate out at 116 proof. It's like really zapping me, man. All right, let me try to deep dive into this. So, man, it's a roller coaster. It goes from, this is one of the few bourbons I've had that goes from the front of the palate to the back of the palate and then back to the front. So when you take a sip of this, it's like an immediate burst of like, kind of like caramel cinnamon, but there's some red fruit in there. And I don't know if that's coming from the Dickel, the George Dickel that's blended in here. It's not that, there's no minerality, but you can taste a little bit of Dickel if you know what you're looking for. If you're tasting this blind, I don't know that you know it's there. There's some specific like red fruit notes I get on some George Dickel, and this has that, but it doesn't have the minerality. And I don't know if that's the other stuff blended in that's covering it up, if it's the Mizunara oak covering it up. But it transitions from like this burst of red fruit into spice on the mid palate, into the back of the palate, and then comes back to the front of the tongue, which is really kind of crazy. So it is like a bit of a roller coaster ride. It is really dense. It's concentrated. That Mizunara oak is providing something, but I think it's finished for a year and a half in the Mizunara oak. It's providing something, but you just can't put your finger on it. Like there's a distinct Mizunara oak taste, like I explained, and this doesn't have that. It's like hints of it. So when you're looking for the Mizunara oak, everything kind of just passes you by because you're expecting this kind of weird. I don't know how to describe Mizunara oak. I wish I did. Let's take another sip now that I've experienced it a couple times. See if we can break it down a little bit more. Like TJ said, there is this raisin kind of leather note as well. The spice on it is really nice. It doesn't strangle you, but it's really nice. I think most people that taste this would not even know that it's finished. This will be a great bourbon to put in blinds because I don't think, if you don't know what you're looking for, I don't think you'll know that this is finished. It just tastes a little different. Oh, TJ, you don't have tickets to the year-end event? Man, you're missing out. Fred Minnick, Jason C., and someone I can't name yet, all going to be there. Lance, have you had Old Stubborn? No, I have not. I've been called that, though. All right, let's see. Let me, I want to taste this next to, what do we got? B. Yeah, so going back to the 101 on the Wild Turkey, it tastes thin now compared to this because the viscosity and the weight of this this barrel bourbon cast finish series is so good, man. At 116 proof, it's a really good proof. The weight of it, the viscosity of it is I mean, they nail it every time. The thing is, man, I just don't know that it's 150. It's not. It's definitely not $150 bourbon. They're going to have a hard time selling these, I think. I think they are. It's not that it's a bad bourbon. Again, if this was an $80 bourbon, I could jump on board with it. It does. That extra year and a half in the Mizunara oak, I think, definitely added some wood tannins. That is a flaw for me. It's just too drying on the palate. Starts off, you're like, ooh, yeah, this is gonna be really nice, and then instantly, man, it just zaps your tongue. And for $150, man, I want a damn near perfect bourbon. I don't want something that's gonna zap my tongue. I get the price because they're finishing it with a really expensive wood, but I mean, if it's not $150 bourbon, it's not $150 bourbon. Wait. Oh, it's an $85? Oh, I'm sorry, Power Bourbon, and I'm sorry sorry to Barrel. They'll never send me another product. If this is 85, then I'm on board with it. This is great at 85. Okay. All right. Oh, Starlight. Oh, you were saying Starlight is 150. So Starlight's coming out with a Mizunara oak that's 150, and Rabbit Hole is coming out with one that's 150 plus. Oh, well, shit. That changes my whole view of this bottle. I thought you said this was a $150 bottle. Okay, well, in that case, it lives up to Barrel Craft Spirits. Okay, dang, man. I was worried. I was like, they're not going to sell these. Yeah, at $85, it is definitely worth $85. I had the mindset that this was a $150 bottle. And again, while it's good, it does zap the back of my palate. There is a lot of concentrated fruit notes up front. And I don't know blind if I would know this was finished in Mizunara oak. I would know it's a little different, but I wouldn't know why. It's just so, even a year and a half in Mizunara oak doesn't, I think the Kentucky, the Dickel, the MGP, those like strong bourbon flavors really makes it hard for Mizunara oak to shine. Or it must. I wonder, TJ, do you know how long Starlight and how long Rabbit Hole finished theirs in Mizunara? Because it's this I would guess it was finished for a couple months, not a year and a half. And some sips of this are fantastic. And then some sips zap my palate. So it kind of goes back and forth. Oh, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Great hanging with you. Total respect for you taking us up. Oh, thanks, dude. I appreciate that a lot. Yeah. One thing I've tried to do with my channel is not, we've been approached with ad deals and sponsorships and all that kind of stuff. And I just enjoy videos without that kind of stuff. So I've really turned all that down so far. And just kind of appreciate the Patreon community, which Cloud Out is involved in. So appreciate you supporting the channel. It helps me keep doing this and buying bottles to review for you guys and setting up our charity organization and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys appreciate the fact that we don't have ads or sponsorships or any of that kind of stuff to bog down the videos. Yeah, this is a good bourbon at $85, guys. It's probably one I would say it's definitely a try in a bar. I don't think there's anything off-putting to it. I think I'm just going to have to throw this in some blinds for some Patreon members and see how they respond to it blind against some other stuff. Because I don't think the finishing is that obvious, which I love. I love when something's finished just lightly enough. What were the notes on this? I try not to read the notes before I taste it. Oh, coconut. So imparts subtle notes of sandalwood. I could see sandalwood. So my wife always makes fun of me because this is such a funny thing to admit to. I'm obsessed with smelling candles and those little tarts in stores. I don't know why. I freaking love them. So I will go in the store and I will smell those things. And sandalwood is a scent that I love. So I could see sandalwood. Herbal spice. It is a little herbaceous. Coconut, interesting. Okay, let me taste this a little bit more, see if I get any coconut, if I'm looking for it. The only thing I've really got coconut on is I got toasted coconut on the Knob Creek 12-year cash strength, the 100, not the 120 proof, but the 124.5 proof, one of my favorite bottles of all time. Had these toasted coconut notes, man, that were just beautiful. It's one of the reasons I love that bottle. So the nose on this, guys, just explodes. Man, the nose is a highlight of this for me. This is really nice. All right. I mean, power of suggestion is really strong, right? And if you're thinking of coconut, you can convince yourself that there is some like toasted coconut notes in there. But there is just like this, it's just one of those things, you know, like sometimes you'll get notes in bourbon, like sometimes with Bart and stuff, I'll taste just like fruit cocktail syrup. I can't pick out one of the fruit notes. It's just this condensed cocktail syrupy kind of note. It's just a bunch of notes. But I can't pick one out. The Wild Turkey 12-year is straight up like black cherries. This has that, like, it's just so much condensed flavor. You know what? Let's add some water. That's what you do when it's just... Let's see if we can add a little bit of water. See if it changes it at all. Let that sit a little bit. So I could tell you guys about upcoming Barrels for Hope picks we're doing. May 20th, we're going to Heaven Hill, and we are doing our yearly Elijah Craig barrel proof pick. Last year, that was our founder's pick for Barrels for Hope, and then we bought a short barrel. Both of those are so freaking good, man. I hope we get a barrel as good as those on this. So that'll be our second pick for Barrels for Hope members. The first is an Oloroso Sherry Dark Arts pick. They were doing the Elijah Craig barrel proof as our second pick for members. Our third pick for members is going to be Ben Holiday. We did secure a Ben Holiday pick, so I think we're trying to do that maybe in July. In May, we will get our Four Roses barrel, which will be, I think we're going to be able to release that at our year-end event. And then at our year-end event, if you guys haven't heard, we are, everybody that's going to the year-end event, I think we have like 4 tickets left. We're almost sold out. But if you're a member of Barrels for Hope and you want tickets, you can message me. Send me a message at lance@barrelsforhope.com. I can send you the link. But I think we've only got 4 tickets left. Anyway, we're taking a bus from Louisville. We've got the Spire at the Hyatt rented. And we're going to take a bus from Louisville to Starlight. And we're doing a barrel pick with 100 members. And then we'll have that for sale for our members as well. That's not included in their membership. So our first 3 picks this year, the Dark Arts, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, Ben Holiday. We've got 3 more picks to secure for our members for this year, so we don't know what those will be, but we're working on some awesome stuff for you guys. So, a little water kind of tamed it down, obviously. Now it has this like confectionery sugar kind of thing to it. Kind of went from floral, effervescent to confectionery sugar, Laffy, or not Laffy Taffy, but like Fair Taffy, like a vanilla Fair Taffy. Man, a little bit of water did this thing. Now there's like some strawberry notes in there. A little bit of fruit. Still a little drying on the back end of the palate. Man, I think I like that with water. That was really nice, which, this might open up pretty nice. Usually finished products, I think, there's a lot of debate whether you really need to give a bottle airtime or not. I feel like on finished products you do. So I'm going to hold my reservations on this. I think it's promising. I would not be afraid to purchase this at $80, $85. I think if you guys bought this, you would like it. When I thought it was $150, I was definitely like, no way. But at $85, I mean, with Mizunara Oak, that's a hell of a price, man. Because that wood's hard to work with. I just have to have it in a blind to really tell you guys. I just don't know if it's standing out enough to be completely different. For something that's finished in Mizunara Oak, a lot of times I say that I want things to be barely finished. I wish the Mizunara shined a little bit more in this, I guess would be my critique. And it's a little drying on the palate. If I buy something finished in Mizunara Oak, I want to be able to taste it more. And I don't know that I can taste the Mizunara Oak very well. It just, for a year and a half in there, it just doesn't, I don't know. We'll just have to let it open up and see. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this live stream tonight. It was fun, man. I'm not surprised the Wild Turkey 12 won the Wild Turkey 101 flight. It's pretty... I thought that's what would happen. It's really fantastic. Barrel Bourbon, thank you for sending me the sample or the bottle. Much appreciated. I'm so sorry I butchered the price. I thought that I read this was 150, but now knowing it's 85, that's why you guys are awesome, man. And it's why I don't want to see a brand like them go out of business, because they really do amazing things. Their blenders are really talented. And I'm not just saying that because they send me samples of products, but they're an awesome company, and I hope everything works out for them. I just don't know the story, man. People have been asking me if I saw the news, and I did see the news. I just don't know what's happened. I haven't reached out to them, but as far as I know, they're not admitting to anything. I think it's business as usual. I mean, obviously they're sending me samples, so sending me bottles, they still want their products reviewed. So I don't know. That's good, I think. But I hope they're a company that stays in business. We need them to stay in business. So support Barrel if you can. They do amazing blending. They're really, really fantastic stuff. So, and that's another example of a really cool product at half the cost of what Starlight and Rabbit Hole's doing. Now, we'll see if it's as good, but actually I won't, because I'm not buying Starlight at 150, and I'm definitely not buying Rabbit Hole at 150 plus. But you price your product at 85, I'm in. So anyway, thank you guys for all the support. If you want to support the channel, you can go to Patreon, search Whiskey Tornado. You can join for as little as $2 a month. If you want your money to go towards charitable efforts where we support military, children, cancer, and mental health, you can go to Patreon and search Barrels for Hope. You can join for as little as $5 a month. All my barrel picks go through Barrels for Hope. So if you want to get any barrel picks, you can go through there. Although our dark arts, I think, will make it to our Patreon and Whiskey Tornado. But we're just so excited to have A1 as a partner, and to be, one of the few channels that donates everything back to charity. That's what we're all about on the Whiskey Tornado and for Barrels for Hope. So if you want to join any of those, you can, and you'll get some barrel picks. So love you guys very much. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Thanks for sipping through these with me. It was a lot of fun as usual. I don't have anything on the schedule next week, so we'll be here live next week. I don't know what the tasting will be yet, but hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It helps the channel grow. Love you guys very much. We'll talk to you next week. Cheers, bitches.